Hi, everybody. This is Defy the Gods, episode 2. We're still waiting on our vessel friend. Hopefully they're okay. There's some inclement weather throughout the country, so that might be affecting it. But we're going to go ahead and get started just in case. So we off-screen kind of summarized what happened in the last session. I did post a video of it if people want to go back and check. But the next thing that we're going to do, because this game has like a phase structure, after the adventure winds down, we go into something called downtime. So in between adventures, which might be after one session or several, the time scale zooms out, during which the adventurers take stock and separate for a while. Um, and it's sort of like Blades in the Dark in the sense that there are mechanical things you can do, but the game also encourages you to play those scenes out, building relationships with each other, the different NPCs, or even just like doing a montage of, how all right, you're getting stronger, but how? But we want to see it on screen, right? So I did take, I think, a screenshot of the different downtime options, but I'll do that again. And I can post it in chat too. But basically, each of you get 2 downtime actions, and the different ones are repair and rekindle a relationship. Say how, then give them 1 heart and or request one from them. So you could be, going back out into the wilds and meeting with your members of the cat clan and reforging those bonds. And Taka could be talking to their new intelligent Atlantean sword, which is, activated after last time. Moonlark could be spending the day at the estate of their noble Mark lover. I don't know, however you want to describe it. So that's one thing you can do. You can also just learn something about yourself, describe how you practice your craft, and mark 1 XP. You could do this twice if you want, if you don't want to do any of the other actions. Take time to heal, describe how you avoid excitement, then clear all your wounds. I know Moonlark, you still have some because you didn't commune, so if you wanted to do that, you could. And then reconnect with your simple humanity, describe how you ground yourself, then unmark 1 fire. So that would be like, you all did things that were approaching godlike power last time. And this would be more like grounding yourself in the city and stuff. So does anyone have a thing that they want to do first or a scene that they want to set up?
I am wondering if perhaps because maybe Antaka thinks that they know um, Lunazal or Moonlark or one or other of those two people, two sides of the same person, best, and maybe seeing them withdraw from this communion uh, means that Antaka wants to reach out to Lunazal and see, what's going on. I don't know whether this is an opportunity for Lunazal to kind of heal or for them to kind of build trust between the two of them. What do you think, Rod?
Uh, oops, computer. Can you hear me? I froze.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I froze for a second. Um, I'm just trying to think where we left off with those two. We were with the playwrights.
Well,
Um,
again, it can take place immediately
right,
afterwards. It could be like a week later. It could
right.
be, I don't know, up to like a month. But any more than a month would probably get a little weird timey-wimey. But, it doesn't have to be immediately in the next scene or whatever.
Uh, is it the case then where Ataka and Bardum can't show their faces because they're wanted at this point?
Well, that's kind of interesting because, again, maybe normally that would be the case, but 2 things happened. The captain of the city guard is missing, presumed kidnapped, quit, or whatever. We know that they're actually with you guys. And also the Nintu's ability to reinforce boundaries has been broken irrevocably. So there's probably a lot of like chaos and stuff right now. Like no one's sure who's supposed to be enforcing the laws, and even if they are sure, nobody's doing it. So like yeah, maybe you should be dragged off to one of the jails, but nobody's sure who has the authority to do that right now.
Uh, could we, would it make sense that Antaka, I don't know if Antaka would care, but would it make sense like if he's uh somewhat interested in keeping a low profile, like like I have that masquerade move, so like maybe I'm just like helping you not stand out at the least.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
all right. Yeah, but yeah, if you want to come, but if that's just the pretense that you really want to come over and see how I'm doing, that's cool.
Where's this
Yeah,
t
yeah.
taking place too? Is it like at the public baths or private baths or like the estate of your noble friend somewhere else?
Uh, yeah, it could be the noble section of the Serpent's Breath, the baths.
Mhm.
I don't know. Does that make sense, or should it be
Well,
what's public?
again, like the fact that boundaries
Yeah,
are severed, like that's supposed to be the VIP section, but now
yeah.
all these filthy commoners are just wandering in and out, you know? And most people are very upset about that. But honestly, I think um Adamu is kind of loving it. They're always like, I have always said that I am a person of the people and believe in egalitarianism. I love the new state of things in the city, actually. The more the merrier, friends. Like they're really playing it up. So, but the rest of the nobles are not really fans of what's been going on.
All right.
So yeah, maybe we're just hanging out in the upmarket Serpent's Breath baths and just kind of, I don't know, are we reminiscing about old times or like talking about your relationship with Adamu? Like, um, I'm not sure Antaka has a plan for how to figure out where we stand with the relationship. But
Uh, yeah. I mean, yeah, and it can be maybe even be again another break in boundaries that you're talking to me when it's known that I'm with Adamu.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Um,
uh,
I can resist anything except someone telling me I can't do something, right? So,
Right.
right.
I don't know, Rod. Do you want to like play a quick snippet of this scene to get a flavor of it,
Oh yeah, yeah,
or
sure.
yeah? So I think like I'll be maybe we hear Adamu's voice float through one of the kind of tunnel sections between the different baths, and you know I'm kind of looking at you, kind of trying to gauge your reaction to him making some pronouncement outside, and I don't know how close we're sitting, but maybe I Uh, maybe I reach out to you with my foot and like push your knee because like we're not close enough for me to nudge you. I
Right.
go, what's the deal with that guy?
Uh, Adamu?
Yeah.
Uh, do you envision him being close by, or do you? the
I
envision
mean,
him
I think we can
hacking
hear
it.
him through the acoustics, but maybe
Yeah.
we're low, we're used to having conversations lower than people can overhear us, maybe.
But yeah, I like that there's the echoing sound of Adama's voice somewhere nearby. But we don't get we just get snippets of that conversation. But the two of you are speaking low enough that nobody hear you.
You will cause a scandal talking to me. But he is, as far as I can tell, exactly who he says he is for the most part. He is still a noble.
Exactly who they says they are. Yeah, I guess that's your type, is it?
I don't know what you mean.
Ah, okay. Well, that tracks. I mean, I'm just surprised that you're sticking around for what seems, in my eye, to be like a serious relationship. Or am I misreading that?
Being with Adamu is an opportunity that does not come often. To have the ear and uh, knowledge of a nobleman uh, opens many doors. But why should that concern you?
I didn't think you needed any help opening doors. I thought that was your thing.
Well, this is a door I opened and plan to keep open for now. Um,
Okay, okay.
if,
There was a time I'd kick down any door for you.
as you said, I'm good at opening my own doors, but I appreciate the sentiment. And it might seem like I moved a little bit away from you as I said that.
Yeah,
Luna's all so hard to make connections with. You're literally trying to reach out.
yeah. So, um, what makes sense in terms of like repairing or rekindling a relationship? It sounds from the way that played out, I would say like you get a heart on Antaka. I don't think you I think you kind of see that Antaka cares about you,
Hmm.
or at least is making some initial reach out. I don't think anything reciprocates
Doesn't feel
for
like it,
me.
no.
So,
And unless,
uh,
Rod, you can say like something internally is going on that's separate from what you're saying. But otherwise, yeah, it seems like you're keeping some distance.
I like that. Um, I I think I say something that clues in Antaka uh that uh I'm concerned what he thinks. Uh, and it might be, oh, I think I asked you what you think of Adamu.
yeah, and I think Antaka kind of squints like he's never really thought about it. Um, all of these rich merchants seem the same, but maybe I need to scratch beneath the surface. Um,
Oh,
so what do you think? One heart either way, Rod?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Hey, Space.
Yeah.
Hey, sorry I'm so
Uh,
late.
No,
No
that's okay.
worries.
Things happen. So we just did a downtime scene between Antaka and Lunazal in the
Ooh.
baths, talking about, their patron and how they each think of them. So I definitely want to see what Kiru's been up to. So we're just doing some short scenes between characters and NPCs, or like a montage of what they've been up to with the downtime stuff. Um, Maybe we can see what Kira's been up to, and also a scene with them and Bardoom. Unless, Kim, do you have a scene in mind, just individually or with NPCs that you want? Like, what do you think that your character is up to right now?
So I was looking at the downtime, and since it like the thing that I think would make the most sense is if I've been in the wild is rekindling my super simple humanity, but I don't need to unmark anything.
Mhm.
So I would either learn something about myself, or if um being away caused some sort of rupture, attempt to repair that. But I don't know if those like
Yeah, either makes sense mechanically. Like, what are you more
okay.
interested in narratively, I guess? Because
Narratively, oh
if you
no,
pick the
go.
first one, it kind of establishes that there was a rupture, right? You
Right.
know, whereas if you pick the other one, then it's like, what are you learning about yourself? Like, what is the context of that, you know?
Right. I guess I'm reluctant to make any to unilaterally declare I ruined someone's relationship with me, so I'll pick the second one.
Mhm.
Um,
Okay.
and so I think much like reconnecting with my simple humanity, like I was out with the cats for a while. They needed something. I was outside of the city. I didn't really remember to notice what was going on. So I've come back into this like complete chaos of
Mhm.
boundary breaking, which again, also a cat thing. So some part of me is comfortable with it, but I'm also learning a lot about like by their discomfort, the social structure.
Mhm.
And so like you see a lot of just Kiru watching people and like maybe even why not sitting like a little higher than
Mhm.
normal and looking down on boundaries breaking either literally or figuratively.
Yeah, everybody's acting a little weird. Like, because this is not the first time you've been in the city, and they all have patterns and stuff, but all those
Right.
patterns are being disrupted.
And like I always thought of the gates as a challenge, like in that
Yeah.
sort of what's on the other side of the door.
Mhm.
And I'm pretty sure someone kept me from like I probably explicitly went out and climbed the thing that someone kept me from climbing last time.
Mhm.
What was it? Go back.
It's a little weird because like the guards are still supposed to protect the gates in and out of the city. But again, they're like, how much leeway do we have with that? Are we supposed to chase someone inside if they've climbed over the gates, or, keep
Right.
them out of the square? Everyone's allowed in these squares now. Um,
But yes, I did explicitly climb like without doing anything to the heart because at the time it was a very good thing that they did. But perversely, I went and climbed the gate that
hmm.
someone had saved me from climbing last time.
All right.
So I think it's just a montage of that.
Do you run into Bardoom at any point, or
Do I run into Bardoom at any point? Bardoom?
oh, sorry, space.
So when you could, I don't know. I'm trying to envision.
Yeah, I guess tell me what you've been doing and I can figure out how to run into you.
Sure. So this is happening in between, like after
Yeah,
everything.
it's an indeterminate amount of time between a couple weeks and a month, I guess. But it also could like be a couple days after too. So
Oh wow. Okay. Got it. Got it. Okay. So Bardoom had that. So one thing I was thinking about was that Bardoom had that, was it a vision,
mhm.
sort of a flash of a memory about their brother, younger brother. Um and I think that uh that's going to be on Bardum's mind and heart and trying to figure out what that's about. So, and I think also anytime how do I want to say this? On here, their patron, if they have some kind of interaction the way that they did, I think mm, Bardum's going to want to sit with on here for some bit. So I honestly I don't know if you're gonna run into Bardum unless it's coming out of um actually that's not true because it depends on where Bardum is doing sort of these sacred rituals, I guess, of connecting with on here.
Is
Which would
it possible that it might be in the Lost District? Because that's where you guys escaped to and ran into all of these visions. So you might be trying to like cleanse it and stuff,
that's true.
if that makes sense. And then, that would definitely be a place that people were not supposed to go. And now are they allowed to? It's a little unclear, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I
Um
suspect I'm also nosy as fuck. So
Yeah, exactly.
Amazing. I love it. I do like this idea about going back to the Lost District. I have a feeling that there would definitely would be people there if it's suddenly like, but I don't think it would be overrun because it's depending on
I
how much time it's been.
I think people have heard that you can go see visions of your past and like
Yeah.
dead relatives and like people you haven't seen in a long time. And some people are like, no, we have to stay away from there. That sounds dangerous. But some
Yeah,
people
yeah.
are like, yeah, but I want to see my ex-love though. You
Mm,
know, I wonder
mm,
what they're up to.
mhm.
So there are at least a couple weirdos who have also joined you here.
Nice. Yep.
And we described it. It's kind of a nice park too. Even if it wasn't super haunted, people would want to come here and see all the vegetation and stuff. So,
And is it sprawling or is it a very discrete area?
hmm.
Uh,
I don't know. What do you guys think? I was envisioning it as kind of contained, like kind of a residential neighborhood.
mm.
But it could be sprawling gardens too if we want.
I was imagining a bigger on the inside kind of thing.
Hmm. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Particularly since we have all these gods of like boundaries and gates and stuff, they probably can
Oh,
contain these spaces that are larger on the inside. That's really cool.
I love that.
So a little bit of both contained and sprawled.
Yeah.
All right. So how do we, Kira stumbles upon you. What do they see?
Oh, yes. So, I'm wondering, this is a slight aside, but I'm wondering about the weather.
Mhm.
Um, and I'm wondering if I'm kind of envisioning a day where it's both bright and sunny and there's like snow or something. Like there's something
Mhm.
bizarre happening weather-wise, and that keeps happening where, you know, um where it starts raining, but there's not that many clouds in the sky, or
Mhm.
things of that nature of just unusual, not just unusual, but like contradictory weather patterns. Anyhow, all
And a
that to
lot of
say,
people attribute that to like, oh, Ishkar's in a sore mood today or something. No.
Could it be like hyper localized? Like
Mm.
there's just a rainstorm
Yeah.
next to you.
yes, even better. Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
boy,
For people in the know, they know that like that's some weird sorcery stuff going on.
it's true. Uh so yeah, all that to say, I think that something like that is happening where there's like some kind of um odd precipitation happening. Um where and maybe maybe you're in bed like you want to check that out or something.
Mm.
Frogs.
Prograde.
Yeah.
As long as it's not a plague of frogs.
I think whatever you're doing, like I'm not going to sneak up on you. I'm just going to sort of like pop up what you doing,
It's so cute.
and like this is totally normal.
Like playful cat style. I like
Yeah.
it. I love it. Okay, so in that case, let's have Bardoom kind of doing a walking meditation. Eyes open, soft gaze, that kind of thing. So you wouldn't surprise them, but maybe it might take a moment for them to sort of shift gears, as it were.
I think if we're doing a television thing, like the pan out shows me like walking behind you far away, and then like, I'm very curious.
But not like creepy stalker, more just like,
No,
yeah, playful little.
or like maybe they're getting something out of this, and if I do the same thing, I'll get something out of this.
Oh.
How cat-like is Kiru's movement generally? Is it like you're creeping along, or it's just, the
No, it's
general
like
patience that you have?
yeah, it looks like a person walking. Like
Hmm.
I'm mostly possibly like if you look very closely, it's a little bit like someone mimicking. Like I don't know if I know all of the right things to do. Like maybe you know what? I imagine that I forget where to put my hands sometimes.
Right.
And that's sort of like I also can the person sometimes forget where my hands go if I think about it too long.
Fair.
But other than that, like I look like just a person walking.
Okay. Okay.
So you will see me or you will know that I'm there. I don't know if you're hoping that I'm not gonna talk or not. Like if I can sense that you're meditating and not gonna interrupt, but
I think that have you said something or you're just walking up to me?
I think I've like drawn, I was walking behind you and I've drawn parallel. So like I'm
Ah,
beside you now.
okay, okay.
And I think in your head, Bardoom, you hear on here, it's okay to take a break sometimes. The square isn't going anywhere. So they're like giving you permission,
Yeah, right. Amazing. Um,
Maybe I'll just ask, what are you getting out of this? Like, am I
ah,
doing it wrong?
Hiro, good to see you. Uh, Getting out of this space, you mean? Or what do you mean?
The circling part.
Oh, yes, you mean the walking, the meditation, the connecting. Yes. Well, what am I getting out of it? It is a way for me to access deeper connection, you know. Um, it's easier when there are less people around. That is, obvious. But but this area in particular, there's energies here that make it so much easier. And when you walk, it's as if you are walking into other times, other ways of being. Um, you know.
I think this actually makes perfect sense to Kira.
Amazing.
Oh, do you want to be alone?
I don't need to be alone. And anyway, I'm never alone. Uh,
That's for sure.
I always have on here with me, as you know.
Oh, right.
Yes.
I think of them as like another person maybe inside. How are they?
I
How
kind of
are
like that on here is kind of walking beside you in a similar way. So you're all like three flanked together.
Or maybe actually I just go, oh, hi,
Yeah.
Oh,
greetings.
on here sends greetings back to you, of course, and blessings. Uh, Do you
Um,
hmm, Or is there anyone that you are seeking to connect with?
It seems to bring you both comfort and a great deal of distress to be connected in this way. So I'm not sure.
Mm, mm, hmm.
And
Would you
I feel
say
like on here is like mimicking your movements too. Like, what an insightful statement. And so, like, as you're going, they're also going,
do you enjoy being connected?
Do I enjoy it? I feel this measurement perhaps is not the best tool to assess this connection. I don't, okay, how do I say this? Oh, this, I'm here is with me and has been for some years now. Um, and I gain many insights. Uh, and I think Bardum is kind of,
It's okay to be completely like,
well, it's just that Bardum is kind of still in between talking to. It's as if, you walked up and literally there were two people having a conversation and it's kind
yeah.
of like a little awkward. Uh, but mostly awkward just because I mean, on here could talk to Kiru if that was of interest, but it's not just gonna happen. It's gonna happen for a reason. Right on here doesn't just sit around chit-chatting for no reason.
Well, I mean, do they? But
I just like
yeah.
the established idea that I will like you're good at answering questions, so I just keep asking until you're done.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, I feel like on here could interject, like you said, but they're kind of amused at you being in the middle of this and like really curious about your responses and stuff too.
Right. I
So
have
Right.
also just asked you about someone in front of that other
yeah.
someone. So
Exactly. And I think
It's
that's
like,
the
yeah, what do
irritation.
you think,
Right.
Bardem? You know?
Bardum's trying to answer it and realizing, wait, okay, how do I say this without upsetting? But also, I don't know, Bardem is kind of committed to, I wouldn't call it radical honesty exactly, but like there would have to be a reason for them to sort of be polite or
Yeah.
somehow like, sugarcoat things. And it is not easy being a vessel.
like I'm also trying to lean into both who speaks honestly to those they respect and who's ready to learn unfamiliar ways as my epithets. If that
Yeah,
helps.
Yeah,
yes, yes,
absolutely.
yes. Um,
And if you guys wanted to make a figure out a person move, you can. Even though we're not in adventure time. Like if you wanted to ask a specific question or anything, but
interesting.
we don't have to.
Yeah, I am curious about, I guess I don't know. Having this conversation makes me more curious about on here uh than I think I have been, which is curious. And um so I don't know if it would make sense
If you
to
want to try
share.
to use figure out a person on here, you can. Sure.
Yeah, well, why not? All right. Uh,
All right. So let's see what epithet do you think would be applicable?
well, who seeks to disappear into their patron's voice? Who sees the world from a god's perspective? Who, when finally giving their heart, gives it utterly? You know what? Actually, um, this third one who makes me think about inquiring about how do I want to say this? Like obviously Bardum basically gave their heart to this patron or to this god, this
Mhm.
so why, what trying to sort of inquire into that moment and what from that moment continues till now, right?
Mhm.
Because I don't know how easy it would be to turn away from on here, but it's not something that Bardum is currently trying to do, so there
Mhm.
must be a reason for that. And
Okay.
I do,
Was it a choice?
I don't think so. I mean, I think that it was framed as a choice,
Hmm.
but I don't know that it felt like a choice to Bardum, if
Okay.
that. And I think on here is probably um I don't know, I feel like this has come up, a few times. And he's like, no, this was a choice. You absolutely.
You want to know their honest opinion about that, or
I think so.
okay?
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll.
All right. Oh, oops. Sorry, I am in the wrong window here. There we go. Okay. So I got a 5.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, you tell me what would hurt you more to hear than, because it says you can ask one set question, but you reveal more than you wanted about yourself. Uh,
Ah,
and then
okay.
they get to ask one question.
All right. Ask one question, but you reveal more than you wanted about yourself.
This is one of the basic moves.
Yeah, sorry, it's figure out a
Okay.
person. So you get to ask one question from the 8 to 10 list, but you may not like the answer, and then they get to ask one of you.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I guess in the spirit of me revealing too much about myself, I think the question should be how, on here, how would you feel if I were to uh leave you?
And they kind of pause in their walking and kind of run their fingers over their spirit mask. Like, obviously, I would be disappointed, but only because while you are free to make your own choices, I would have imagined you would have made a better choice than that one. Perhaps I would have misjudged our relationship.
Have I have I angered you in asking this question?
You are not capable of angering me by asking questions. Do not worry. And they lightly touch you on the shoulder, but their touch is cold. You don't feel the warmth. You feel like they're trying to like reassure you, but don't totally believe it.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Are they
And
gonna
maybe it like even grips a little too hard on your shoulder too.
Ooh. Okay. Okay.
How can I get you to be mine forever? Not like to reconsider your doubts is my question.
You should perhaps have chosen one a bit simpler than myself, for doubt is part of being mortal. I don't know how to not have doubt. And the doubt is not indicative of my desire, you see. It is merely a question of understanding the parameters, understanding my experiences. you are here with me. I am talking to you, and I am seeking to know you better.
I understand. And on Here's Mine, they're like, I just need to fill your mind with understanding beyond the understanding of most mortals. And I just need to be with you constantly so that you don't feel abandoned. That's what they got out of this conversation.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Oh
So take an
well.
XP.
Thank you.
Um,
Oh boy.
it's not like I don't want to frame it. It's not like menacing in the sense of like, that they're evil. It's more like they have anxious attachment and you just made them freaked out is the
No,
vibe.
no, I get it. I do. I just I guess my reaction right now uh it's that oh I may have invited more than I would like that I'm gonna have to and it's funny that this is happening now, right? With the boundaries being weakened because that's kind of what it's sounding like is on here
Yeah,
trying to
well, that's
cross
true.
the
Yeah.
boundaries that we may have set
I didn't
before.
think about that, but you're absolutely right. That works out really well. So
Yeah.
you do get one option from the Downtown West too.
Oh,
Um, Either
this
or
is
both of you if you just wanted to both use this as your scene. But if we want to say it's focused on Bardoom, then we could do that too.
cool. Yeah, I think I would like hang on, let's see. Repair or rekindle a relationship. Give them one heart and a request one. I kind of want to do a relationship one, but I don't have a whole lot of ideas with that. Let me see. Mm, 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 Hero? Who should go?
I feel like I know more about. I've like you have taught me a little bit about a thing that people do and a thing that you specifically do.
That makes a lot of sense.
That does make a lot of sense. Does that mean um
You probably each get hearts with one
oh,
another.
okay.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Are any of all y'all cat people?
I am.
Okay.
Unfortunately I'm allergic to cats.
Yeah,
We
I don't
just
have a
got
cat, but I enjoy them.
okay. We have two new kittens, and one of them is hanging out at my desk, so I may
Oh, is that the one
change my back.
walked by just a moment ago?
Yes, that is a black and white kitten named Gideon
Gideon.
from the locked tube because she's large and very pretty and somewhat simple
Oh, nice.
and has golden eyes.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it sounds really
Okay,
nice.
so how would I do the heart? Let me go back to just add
Yeah,
it.
yeah, just
Okay.
add one. Let me know if anyone ever gets 4 hearts with someone because then something special happens.
Ooh, we have
You actually
heart.
get to give them a new epithet. Um,
Oh, that's nice.
which may happen in this downtime depending on what people choose.
Mhm.
So let's go ahead and figure out what we want the next scene to be, and then we'll probably take a short break. Um,
Okay.
so does anyone have a scene in mind that they would like to see?
Are we still doing downtime scenes?
Yeah, because everyone gets 2 actions, and I think some people still have some, unless I'm
Oh,
wrong.
nice. Yeah, well, then yeah, I guess I could still have one, but I would love to hear if anybody else has ideas.
I mean, from my first downtime, I think I just want to heal, and I don't know if we necessarily need a scene unless someone wants it.
We don't have to. I was just
Yeah.
giving you guys the opportunity, but if you just want to be like, I'm lounging out, um, is this like Adamu is like feeding you grapes or something? Or
Yeah, that sounds good. Uh,
Okay.
and
Yeah,
I
they're
do
they're
have an idea.
really pampering you, basically.
Sounds good. And I do have an idea for the second one, which is just to get my epithet back, my initial epithet of the who hands others their misfortune.
Okay. So think about how you
Uh,
want to set that up.
mhm.
And then any other character can be involved. Like even if they don't have any downtime scenes left, if you want to have a scene with Kiru, if you want to have a scene with Antaka or Bardoom again. Um, but what's
uh,
the context of this location?
oh, you know what? I think I talked to the Thieves Guild has been breathing a bit down my neck, so I think I'm gonna get two birds with one stone, and I'm gonna give her the double-headed mermaid
Mhm.
figurine.
Oh,
But
cool.
I'm gonna tell her it's for the head of the guild, with the plan that it's gonna drive that person insane, or
Oh,
or
okay.
or mad, or something, because this person's like, very greedy, and I basically painted, this is it speaks forbidden knowledge, but only the wise can really understand it. I advise you not to do it, but give it to I guess we can give him a name. Um,
Are you trying to trick Kumla to be like give them this artifact because it's very valuable? Or are you trying to plot together like give them it because it will drive them nuts? Like how
that's a
honest
good
and open are you
question.
being?
I kind of like her. Do I want to? Yeah, I am kind of tricking her.
Okay. I feel like that's going to take an entice role because
Uh,
Kumla is no fool, right? Um,
right.
I don't think she's going to refuse, but it's like, is she going to want to be like, cut me in?
Hmm. All right.
So what
Yep.
epithet are we thinking of here? And you can also go ahead and clear your mask at the same time.
Okay, so then I am going to use that one. Um, Two hands up. Their misfortune.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're
Uh,
literally doing that.
which is one. All right. All right. I'll roll. Uh, ugh, six.
Yeah,
And I need,
unless two people
yeah.
would have to spend hearts with you, and I don't know if they're in the position to, unless someone is either watching this or coached you what to say. But it sounds like this might be something you're doing by yourself.
Am I allowed to spend hearts or
Nope.
okay?
Yeah, other people spend their hearts from you. So yeah, I actually think I'm going to give Kumla a heart over you.
Okay.
And you hear her handing over this artifact, and she's like looking at it discerningly and looking back at you and looking at it. And she says, let's give the Thieves Guild leader a name. Uh, Namasan's pretty good. Glamour, no. Let's just go with Namasan, right?
Okay. Are the
And it's like
NPCs written somewhere?
on the GM tab. So I'll
Okay.
update that in a second. Namasan is Shaper of Destiny. So she's looking at this artifact and she's like, you must think that I'm really stupid, right? You realize that this talks to me and it's told me what you're trying to do. I don't have a problem with taking down Namasan. I think he's weak. but I refuse to be made a sap. If we're going to do this, we do it together. Yes?
Of course, sorry, I was trying to protect you. The less you know about my plan,
Hmm.
the less culpable you would have been.
Here's the deal. When he's gone, someone's going to need to take his place. And I expect your support when that person is me.
You have it.
Is that true?
Um, yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, then. I remember who my friends are. Don't worry. And she like flicks you a gold coin. There's more where that came from.
I grab it, I guess.
Yeah.
And then yeah. And I think later, is this like really is this a lot? Or is this like a
Yeah,
gold?
actually she's pretty generous.
Okay.
You know, it's probably like one of the scales. No, it's not a gold coin, sorry, like one of the scales from the serpent.
Right, right. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'll take it.
Plus one. All right, so I will note down that you are involved in a conspiracy against the Thieves Guild leaders, which definitely won't come back to bite you eventually.
Excellent.
All right, why don't we take a 5-minute break and then we will see what other people want to do. Okay, welcome back, everybody. I kind of lost track about who is, having remaining downtime actions. So does anyone still have one or two?
I think I had like just a generic montage of peopling,
Hmm.
and that I took an XP from that, but I
Okay.
could have a scene if you prefer.
No, that's fine. Um, but you get to do another one if you wanted to another XP, if you wanted to get a heart with a different adventurer. I kind of wanted to see
Oh,
it, maybe a scene with Kiru and either Entaka or Unazal. That'd be fun.
what's Santaka doing?
I mean, just hanging out, maybe whispering to his new sword. Um, um, maybe like practicing with it. Um, yeah, but generally speaking, I mean, just keeping a lowish profile,
Hmm.
not charging out to challenge any gods this week, you know.
So you've probably seen Antaka training before, I imagine. Like as a warrior, you have to do that periodically. But just like everyone else behaving strangely, you probably haven't seen them like talk to their sword before, at least not so extensively. So maybe that is a little concerning.
So if I am sitting on a fence rail watching you train, would you wait for me to talk, or would you like, are you too distracted talking to your sword, or are you still like hyper vigilant enough to approach people watching you?
Um, no, I mean, I think if you're sitting on a fence as I practice, I think maybe this is a new aspect to Antaka.
Hmm.
You know, I took this move, I am magnificent, which is
Hmm.
kind of a show off
Yeah.
move, right? So maybe he's like, he notices you and is quite happy to finish his,
Hmm.
I don't know, whatever the ancients called their kata or
Hmm.
practice moves, right? Um, and then
As
we'll,
as soon as you get distracted for a moment, you feel your sword getting frustrated, and you like hear in your mind, like, do you think that Nintu ever stops training? When you sees you again, he'll crush you utterly. It's basically like get your head in the game, but it doesn't control you, right? You can
yeah,
throw
yeah,
it to
yeah.
the side.
Yeah, and I think like I will like a sin for any sword owners, but like I will
Mhm.
stick it into the earth, right?
Yeah.
Um, and say, obviously not practicing enough based on how I beat it.
Old. As soon as
And
you
they
let
And that
go of
was
it, the
that
voice
was
goes
without
silent.
your voice in my head,
Yeah.
Adiran. And I'll walk over to the fence and like fold my arms and almost like I'm turning my back on my sword to prove a point. Kiru, you're
I think I
back.
will pay you the highest compliment I know how to pay, which is that was particularly cat-like of you.
Uh, sorry?
I You just showed that inanimate object who's boss.
That's true.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Do you normally talk while you do that?
no, no, I don't. That's a new habit. But, you
Who's your new
know,
friend?
so when I whooped Nintu's avatar's butt, and that is the
Uh,
technical fencing phrase.
I know exactly what you mean.
yeah. And
Someone,
everybody has heard about this, by the way. Even though you've only been back to the city recently, there are already like, like Punch and Judy puppets
Right.
and stuff that people have made and like kids pretending to be the great Antaka and stuff.
okay.
I'm
So
gonna hum you a little bit
Nice.
of the very bad ballad about your actions going around.
mhm.
It scans horribly.
Right. Well, I don't know if I love that, but maybe when I beat the next one, I'll be able to afford some proper bards. Uh, so the sword is currently inhabited by a Diran who's like, I don't know, had been captured by Nintu. Maybe that's how Nintu got their powers over boundaries, and now that they've escaped, that's why that's all falling apart. I mean, it's,
Cool.
I think you can kind of see Antaka is like actually now that he's reminding himself, he kind of feels a little bit buoyant,
Yeah.
but trying to restrain himself. Um, yeah, yeah,
I feel like
definitely got
Adiran
it.
was some kind of like Atlantean sorcerer king or something. And yeah, when he died, Nintu trapped him and devoured him and absorbed his power. So, now that he's trapped in this sword, he's obviously angry and wanting revenge, and you're the method of that. So that was what the like pushing you harder was from.
Yeah,
I think I am alternately like impressed and appalled at the idea of being stuck in a sword.
Hmm.
Like,
It's a double-edged
can you?
sword.
I see what you did there. Um, then I expressed that. I'm like, it must suck to be stuck in a sword.
better than being stuck in Nintu.
Okay.
Although that's probably the plan with the sword now. Stick it in Nintu.
I thought you're going to put the person back into Nintu.
I'm not sure. That is beyond my ken.
The sword kind
Mine
of
as well.
vibrates a little bit, but it's hard to tell whether it's just the wind or if it was excited by that idea.
See? Next time the city guard tell me like you can't wield violence within the city gates, uh, I'll say nonsense. Violence wields me.
Yeah, I think Kira's just impressed. Like,
Okay. It sounds like you at least give Antaka a heart, but Antaka kind of opened up to you a lot too, so it kind of feels like it was neutral, directional. Do either of you give a heart to Adiron? Adiron, sorry.
The sword?
The cool
Yes.
sword, yeah, okay.
100%. Again, like I'm just trying to lean on all my epithets. And if I'm going
Sure.
to chew my leg off to get out of a trap, I'm going to feel bad for a sword or a person stuck in a sword.
+1 from Kiru. Cool.
Yeah, I don't know that I do give Adiran another heart. I think maybe the act of like showing them who's boss, at least in this moment, kind of curtails that.
Yeah, fair enough.
But we're at 2 already, so
Yeah.
I'll have plenty of opportunity to get them up to 4. I don't know.
For sure.
Does that work for NPCs too, Alex?
I think NPCs can
Going to
actually have an
4?
unlimited number
Oh,
of
okay,
them,
okay.
but I'll ask Chris because that would be interesting if NPCs can give you a new epithet too. You may not love how
Yeah.
they label you. Yeah,
Who
That
lazes
asshole.
around when they should be exacting vengeance, right?
yeah,
That'll be my
exactly.
new epithet.
Yeah. Who needs
Okay.
to train harder,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Okay, cool. Any other scenes that we want to have?
I'm sorry. Did we give each other, did Antaka and Kiru give each other hearts?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think perhaps I do go back to training harder. So I'll take that very straightforward. Uh, learn something about yourself. And I think maybe when Kuru wanders off, I do kind of go back to the sword very readily and push harder because, yeah, I think I realized round 1 was maybe easier than it should have been. They were taking their victory for granted, and I cannot do that.
Incredible. It probably whispers in your mind of the great weapons, and Atlantean knowledge stored below, like if you really want to get serious about your training, it's kind of tempting you in that way. Uh, mhm. All right. So I guess we'll go around. Space, where are you in terms of, did you use both of your actions?
I don't think so.
Okay. So do you
Uh,
want to take another one?
sure. I kind of want to do something with Sarabi, if that's okay. And I don't know if it needs to be a scene necessarily, but it could be. Um, so Sarabi's the playwright that took us in, right?
Yep.
And so, because she has the kind of like, who tells the story of the world, set up there, I, I, mm, like my main mission, my overarching mission, I think, is to get on here story back into the world, if that makes sense. But
Oh, how
um
interesting. Yeah, she
yeah,
would be really vibing with that. So you kind of pitch it to her almost
yeah.
like you're in a writer's meeting or something.
Exactly.
And she's like, what an interesting, fascinating idea for a play. And, it's subversive in the kind of ways that I like, of course.
Mhm.
The Pantheon definitely would not like that. So what do you know about Unhere's story? Like what moments should we highlight here?
I mean,
Who should I get to play the various roles,
ooh, I well, I, I know that Antaka is feeling a bit on top of the world, so I feel like if you want a hero, uh you can't get any better than that. But that being said, so on here, the story of how on here fell with that sort of leaving it open to the viewer's imagination as to whether, the interpretation of whether if on here was wronged, then clearly the correct thing is to right this wrong, right?
I love that. I love ending it on a way there where the audience writes the story.
Exactly. Exactly.
Hmm.
So that's, I don't know, that's my take on it. I offer this to you, and I have
I
more.
can't help but noticing you haven't written a role for yourself. Surely, as the most favored on here, there should be some role for you.
That's really interesting. I I feel like Bardum wouldn't have considered themselves the most favored of on here,
Mhm.
and like until or it not just wouldn't have considered it, wouldn't have put that
Mhm.
label upon themselves. So that's really interesting. Um, and so yeah, this kind of throws them for a loop a bit,
Mhm.
and they just sort of bow to Sarabi as like, you are the player. You are the one who tells these stories. You tell me what role you want me to play, and I shall play it.
Mhm. And yeah, she's really like, I'll need some time to consider it.
Yeah,
I'm sure you wouldn't want to have a tragic end, but if so, I'll make it suitably memorable.
thank you. I appreciate that.
And yeah, she's just like kind of hashing out the details and stuff.
Oh gosh.
And also like how we can sneak in those subversive messages and stuff. So like you said at the end where it's like, just implying that justice needs to be done or something is very very juicy for her.
Great.
Okay. So does that get you a heart from them or what were you aiming for there?
I was kind of hoping for a heart from
Okay.
Sarabi. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
Take one over her and she'll take one over you.
Delightful. So I'm all good now.
And as opposed to like other NPCs, this is not an exploitative relationship. This is like a legitimate, bond of friendship, it seems. So
Mhm.
very cool. Don't know, did you have any others or did you use both of yours?
Uh, yeah, that was my two. I think the first
Okay. All
one was with Lunazol. Yeah.
right. And what about you, Rod? You good?
I'm good.
Okay. And then Kim, you use both? All right, great. So the next thing we will do is another world scene. So just like at the beginning where we had the world scene with the Pantheon, the world scene is an interlude in which the players flip the script and briefly play the antagonist. It foreshadows what the world has in store for adventurers, allowing the players to signal to the GM what challenges they want to encounter. First, we have to pick a world for us to narrate. So we already did the Pantheon last time. We could theoretically do it again with different gods if we wanted. We could do the city if we're like, how are they responding to this breaking of boundaries, or like we need to crush this subversiveness before it gets out of hand. It could be the Thieves Guild, either learning about the plot against Nemasan or the plot coming together if we wanted. They were kind of talking about robbing Adamu's estate at some point. It could be something in the wilds that's, like there's a crisis forming out there and the adventurers have to go and deal with it. It could be the legacy of Atlantis, this treasure trove below the city that we talked about where the god is chained up. Or it could be something involving the underworld and shades and everything. So like what is interesting to people for the next adventure arc?
I have a strange idea.
All right, go ahead and pitch
I
it.
so I wonder if we can we have like a world scene set in the past
Yeah, absolutely.
because we have the Atlantean or the old god chained up,
Hmm.
and we have Adira now who we know is an old time Atlantean sorcerer. So like, could we like do a scene back then when they were free?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can absolutely do a flashback to something that happened before that is going to echo in the future in a certain way. The question we have to
Yeah.
answer is like, why is it going to be a crisis now, or where's the opportunity now? But you can all play as characters from this past age.
Yeah, I mean, those are like two characters. I don't know if we have any other ideas for who could be inspiring for like this future date for when they are about to be free or whatever it is, you know.
Okay. Yeah, you guys can just make something up. You can play as like other Atlanteans or even like a golem or something, or a sorcerer who's like viewing the past or something, but whatever people are most interested in. Are people on board with this idea though?
Are there dead Atlanteans in the underworld? Because the thing that I'm curious about right now is the boundaries and how that's affecting the underworld.
Oh, that's
And
interesting.
so I would love to set something up, like maybe
Mm.
there's a rival Atlantean in the underworld, or that's going to
Yeah,
come.
yeah, for sure. Like, I mean, if Nintu trapped other Atlanteans, which we kind of established that they did, then that makes a lot of sense. And that this person might be breaking free at some point, one of Aderon's rivals or something. That's
But yes, I'm on board. I want to deal with the underworld at some point. So if I could like
Mhm.
set a hook to come back later.
Sure.
Awesome.
So I guess the question the scene should answer is what was the what was the conflict between Adoran and this rival that's going to cause problems for you guys now, imminently? Does that make sense?
So this is in the past with Adiron, and do we know who this rival was?
We're making it up right now.
Oh, okay.
Another
Uh,
sorcerer, a warrior, like just someone sympathetic, like they think Otteran's a monster tyrant or something. Whatever you guys think is most interesting. One of the
I
previous
think
gods
I'd like,
before they were a
uh,
god. Yeah, sorry, Kim.
that's okay. I'd like them to have some sort of beef over an object. So maybe a warrior and a sorcerer. Like,
oh, for a minute I thought you were suggesting that the warrior was the object.
no. I
It,
mean,
it could be the sword,
Yeah,
because the
yeah.
Yeah,
sword is an
yeah.
Atlantean sword. So they were debating who was going to have ownership over it or whose soul would go into it.
do we want a second sentient sword? Or do we want to play about the sword that you currently have?
Well, in the past, the sword wouldn't be possessed but with a soul, right? Is that's kind of what I'm hearing. Is
Yeah.
and instead it's the two beings sort of fighting over. But why would they? I guess the question I would have is why would they want to inhabit a sword? Is it like what's the goal there?
Yeah, it
I
could be
think they want an inhabitable sword. Like they don't want to be in the sword. They want a sword
oh
into
yeah.
which they could put someone.
It was
And
supposed to be a
then,
Oh,
trap for someone else, like maybe even Nintu, right?
yes. But it backfired.
Yeah. That's what happens when you play around with magic. Yeah.
And swords.
try to kill a god, all sorts of things.
Yeah.
And it kind of fits well with like people say that Atlantis fell because they wrote themselves out of history.
Hmm.
Like it's more like they trapped themselves out of history, maybe. Yeah, they hid themselves too well, and now they cannot make themselves seen. Beware hidden things. So yeah, like they're all trapped in these animated objects that they meant to trap the gods or other people in.
Ooh.
Turnabout
Mm.
is fair play. Yeah. That's cool. I like that. Um,
And that would set it up for us as sort of adventurers to try and locate all of these stored Atlanteans, if if I could call it that.
okay. Yeah. Question should touch on the characters' lives directly or indirectly. I mean, it's pretty obvious. Antaka has the sword with this sorcerer contained in it. And regardless, if these Atlanteans are breaking free, or they're whoever's wielding these weapons, it's going to affect the city too, and maybe even the wilds. Because the Atlantean ruin is located outside the city, underneath these cliffs. That's going to affect the animals that are living in that area too. So, cool. All right. So where does this scene take place, do we think? Is this in Adoran's palace? Is it in the um, tower where the sword was crafted? Um, is it on a battlefield and they're just like duking it out with these over the sword? Like, what do we think?
I kind of like the idea of like a tower on top of those cliffs now where there's nothing, before they are submerged or taken in by the earth during the fall. But if people want something a bit more active, like a battlefield is a good scene, right? Because it can be a bit chaotic.
I really like the idea of things that there might still be some sort of evidence of now. Like if there's a tower, maybe there's just a tiny bit, like if the ocean took it, maybe there's a tiny bit of wreckage out that we just call the tower, even, and no one knows it was actually the tower.
Ooh, I
Like
love that.
a strangely smooth rock, right? Just there, and like old pearl divers or whatever it is used to say it's a tower, and no one believes them because, who goes out there?
Yeah, that works for me. Okay. So each player chooses a character related to the World Force, and then begins the scene centered around the question. So I guess who wants to play Adoran? Who wants to play this rival? And then we need two other characters in the scene.
I
I'm happy to give everyone first dibs on Adoran.
I'm happy to play the rival.
Do we think that they're fighting about it? Do we think that this is like a conclave of some sort and there's a bunch of people engaged in this conversation? Or like they're in front of a judge?
I like the conclave idea. Rod, did you have a thought?
Only that I don't want to play at Iran.
No, that's real.
I will play Outer then. That
Okay.
sounds. Um, are we evil or just passionate? Okay.
It's a certain point of view, but yeah, you can decide the way that you play them will determine that, right?
Okay.
We know that Adoran has a serious grudge against Nintu for sure, but Nintu is also kind of a dick, so
If you have headcanon about your sword, I don't want to explicitly contradict it. So
I have no headcanon about the sword or Adoran, so yeah, go for it.
it could, like, I don't know if anyone wants to play whoever crafted the sword or like a powerful sorcerer. Um,
Yeah, because
or
Yeah, I mean I think I could take up the role of someone who crafted the sword like as some kind of a plan. Maybe this is the first of what became several to trap these usurping gods, right? Um,
it feels like that's what's
so
going on. Like the pantheon's starting to arise, and they're like, these new gods are serious problems. They want to destroy us. We have this solution, but
Mhm.
not everybody agrees with it.
Right. Maybe we don't necessarily agree on who should be. Yeah, who should be trapped? Like this sword is an option, right? It's not
Hmm.
necessarily, and so the question would be who needs to go into this sword?
Hmm.
And who there has to be somebody who
Oh,
champion.
is on here present at this meeting? They
Oh, good
could
point.
be.
Ooh.
They very
Yeah,
well could be.
very well could be. Wait, what if on here is the rival?
That's
Like
cool.
Yeah.
before no, yeah. I wait a minute. I like that. I
Hmm.
like that. And it could be so their rivalry is or was it began as a philosophical rivalry, right? Not necessarily some sort of heated it didn't need to become physical necessarily, but I think it did maybe by accident almost.
The only thing about that is Kim did say that, they wanted a tie-in to the underworld. So if
Oh,
we tie
true.
it to on here and Aderon, then there's not there could be a third person too.
I'll also get back to the underworld later.
Yeah.
Like, I like the idea that maybe we're just advocating for different gods to be the trapped one.
Mhm.
Or maybe Rod, what if you were to play someone if unless I'm yeah, what if you were to play another person in this gathering, I guess, who is how do I want to say this? Who ends up in the underworld and we could and but knows what happened, knows
Somebody
the
got killed by the sword.
yeah, and then we could go and anyway, this is just off the cuff idea.
Like, what do you mean? Like, knows what happens?
Well,
Like,
if they were present at the meeting and they died, then their shade would be in the underworld and they would have all this information.
oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, knows
Yeah.
what happened at the meeting.
Yeah.
Uh,
Right. And have
uh,
a better perspective than either Barnum's patron or
Yeah.
Antaka's sword. Because I
Yeah, yeah,
imagine their stories are not aligned if we ever get them both.
Yeah.
yeah.
and Don,
Um,
who are you playing again?
I don't know, but maybe the whoever crafted this sword, maybe some Atlantean
Hmm.
crafter
Sure.
god or whatever. I'm also wondering in terms of the underworld tie-in, like we know that Anhir's domain is Forgotten Stories, right? But
Hmm.
that's now. But like way back when, maybe Nintu usurped them in terms of the underworld, right? Death. Do you have any ideas, space on, you know, your Bardoom's, gods, like previous domains?
Oh, that's a good question. I think have I written them?
I like that quite a bit, though, that they used to have more domains and some of them were stolen.
Yeah, well, so is it Nuska whose primary domain is wisdom? We've written that Nuska, if I'm saying the right name, um, has a particular hatred for on here, and I think that that would probably be domain related.
We
Uh,
put,
Yeah.
yeah, wisdom, the desert, history in quotes, and
oh yes,
writing.
history and writing. Okay, good.
Yeah.
So, so there's some overlap there.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah, just an idea, like whatever you feel is going to suit for these previous domains.
mhm.
Um,
Yeah, I'm not feeling connected to the desert necessarily, but definitely anything to do with knowledge.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah.
It's possible Anushka was like a minor god coming from the desert, and that's where this uprising or war came from. And then they
Mm,
usurped all these other domains, and that's why
right,
it doesn't really fit with the others.
right.
Yeah.
So what is the person in the sword's name? Can someone spell it for me or show me where it is on the character
Oh,
keeper?
on the GM sheet, it's
Okay.
Adoran. I will
I don't know
put that in
why
the
I
chat.
think that's a secret tab. Clearly it's not a
Nope.
secret tab, but
It's open for everybody. You can see what their epithets are because then you know how to wound them best, right? So
right.
I do feel a little sneaky looking at
so I give you permission, basically.
it.
And I
Thank
definitely
you.
haven't even used all of these characters. They're just available for me as needed. And it's really easy to make an NPC in this game. If someone mentions them, we just think of a couple epithets for them and pick a picture and pronouns and stuff. So
Thank you.
Yep.
And thank you, Space, for agreeing with me that it feels.
Of course.
So yeah, there's this conclave happening, debating like, we have to, before these new pantheon gods destroy us, we need to use the weapons that we have available. This craftsman has a solution, and people don't really feel on the same page about it. So, and remember, there is a names tab as well next to the GM one. So just, pick a name and describe yourself and what your perspective is. And remember, someone has to die at the end of this meeting for it to work out.
I mean, I'm also happy to be in the sword by the end of the meeting, but
Yeah.
I think I will start by I'm pounding on a table and saying clearly Nintu is the biggest problem and who we should target first.
Why? Why Nintu specifically? I disagree that Nintu is the first one. We need to make sure that the first one we go after will that the rest will fall in line.
They are their domain is boundaries. They're clearly going to be the one to bring our collapse fastest.
That could go both ways. Listen, if Nintu is boundaries and we trap Nintu, then what happens to those boundaries? And how do we know that we won't be on the wrong side of those?
Who do you suggest? I at least have a plan. Well,
There's some shouting from the other side of the table, like, everyone knows about your hatred with Nushka. We knew you would lead the meeting in this way. And they're like, no, Adarand, they're unfairly biased against Nintu. We could make an alliance. None of these characters are important enough, but there's definitely dissension going on.
Yeah.
I have a clear plan forward. I have a plan. I have a champion. All you need to do is give the sword to me. Kim, don't have a named champion. I just assume that.
Well, let's see this sword. Bring in the Sudra.
Let us see the sword.
I've picked a different name because I've noticed Sisudra is actually already in the Pantheon. So I'm going with Aaron, which means balancer of scales, which maybe is the whole point to the sword, right?
Yeah.
And I think Aaron is this older man with, scars and burns all over his forearms from working at the smithy, and he has wrapped this cloth, so it looks like he's carrying this just misshapen bag, and I think with an act of showmanship, maybe Aaron is refusing to touch the sword. He just kind of unrolls it in one swift motion, and the sword flips to land on the table that's just been banged on. And it kind of, I think the sword almost shivers in anticipation. It rattles around on the table longer than you'd think it ought to.
And I think you all feel that shiver within your souls, because we established that sorcery is about connectiveness and quickening a pulse. So everyone's emotions are really amped up just being in the presence of this weapon.
It hungers and we must feed it quickly.
Agreed. I just disagree as to who we should feed to it.
I have not yet heard who you think we should feed to it.
I don't know. I listen, I have disagreement. That doesn't mean I have a plan. I am not one who makes plans. That being said, there are two options, in my opinion, that are better. Ishog and Nettie.
We should destroy it.
What?
And you see
Everybody
an
like
old
turns to this peasant, like, what?
What?
Do
you
you
see like
know
an
how
old
many resources we've put into making this?
uh
This
you
is
see an
the
old
first blow.
you see like an older man, and look how it is destroying us. We're fighting amongst ourselves. And this war against these so-called new gods, that's only going to bring ruin to us all. It's the common people who will suffer.
Hmm. Tell us your
And
name.
do you think he will suffer less if we do nothing?
Let him speak.
Uh, I'm
That's not
Karika.
my vibe.
Why why not make an alliance with them, or something more mutually beneficial? This this obsession with war amongst warriors is not good for our society.
And I think someone is like, we have one of them chained up. We could ransom them back. Maybe they'll leave us alone.
They will not leave us alone. Have you seen them? They are uh full of they are what am I trying to say? They they are sick with power. They want to take over. They have said as much.
They grow and will not stop growing unless we check their growth. And they will eat us all, common or noble. I don't, and I will turn to this random person in the audience who I assume I've never seen or heard of before.
Mhm.
I respect your position, learned elder, but I do not think that ignoring the problem is the way to go, and we have tried negotiating to no avail. If you remember, our team of negotiators was returned without any of their fleshier bits. I think we just got like a pile of skeletons or something from like the gods did something.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You cannot negotiate with a storm. You can only attempt to make it weaker.
To say it another way, Karikan, you have brought us uh, your concerns, and it is important that we hear them. But to say it another way, it is like we have this weed that is taking over our crops and our people. Yes? And someone says to us, well, yes, okay, that is not great, but what if we were to create some new sort of uh turn the weed into a delicacy that we can eat, so turn it into a positive thing. This is not how that works. You know all about how the I don't know, the plant kudzu or something. I mean, that's here, but obviously I'm just making that up. Anyhow, you know how it takes over and destroys the land and the plants that we eat and food and all this. You cannot turn some uh forces cannot be turned into your friends.
I think in what I think is a stage whisper, but is 100% not, I go, excellent use of metaphor, much better than mine.
Trying to be more
We
relatable.
we we have not exhausted all options. I say if our last negotiators failed, we should send better negotiators. and I will volunteer myself if it comes to that.
Why did you not volunteer the first time?
That decision
Uh,
was made without me.
we didn't ask the common people.
I could have sworn we did. Maybe we forgot to ask all of them.
Maybe.
I withdraw my objection.
Perhaps we should send someone to wield the sword with you in case your negotiations fail.
I like this. This is a good plan.
I am I am not I'm not blind to the possible dangers. If someone is brave enough to come wielding the sword, bearing the sword, um, I will not object as long as they let me have my chance first at peace before war.
How would we feel about Ninju just showing up at this point?
That would really answer the question hard as to how the
Why?
death happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was about to say, because my image now is that sort of mid-year speech about peace. Something kills you. Something God-related kills you.
Oh,
And then in the melee, this instead of the sword ending up in Nintu, the sword ends up in me and eats my personness.
yes. Yes.
And Space, if you want to, it can be you trying to wrest the sword away from me. Like, I don't want to go like full slapstick, but if if the way that it ends up in me is accidental,
Then
who
I could have been the one to, yeah. And is it accidental or did Nintu cause me to thrust the sword upon you? Who knows?
So we said that the Atlanteans were descended from, like creatures below the waves, right? So there's probably all of these shimmering walls and the ocean outside to reflect that. And the shimmering starts to stop as you guys are talking, and the walls start to like crack and break. And from the water's surface, you hear a reverberating voice. And it says, peace, negotiations. You are not worthy to negotiate with us. A man does not negotiate with an ant, and a god does not negotiate with a man. If you have pests within your household, you drown them out. And with a crash, the waters just start to flood in. And Nintir was giving you their answer. And like as the waters come in, some of the small monsters, like the horrors of the deep are making their way through the cracks. And Eshug is also assaulting this place.
Of course. And so, Aduran, I assume you're going after Nintu, right? And so I'm trying
Like
to.
you probably see like these giant eyes in the water just like staring in, and like these hands like pressing up against it. You can't make
Mm,
up their shape entirely, but this massive shape outside just like trying to crush the tower that you're in.
yes, I am 100% going for the sword. I am going to go stab the giant eye with the sword.
no, don't do it. and, and I launch myself towards you and try and grab the hilt of the sword and pull it from you. And then I trip, I guess, on something.
The water's pretty slick and wet at this
Right.
point.
Yeah.
And I imagine all it has to do is like you don't have to deal me a grievous wound. All it has to do is draw blood.
Yes, that is fair.
I crumple.
Yeah, crumple into bits, and your essence
And then the
flows
sword,
into it.
what does it look like when it has taken possession? You said it was shivering with anticipation. Whew, I imagine it is.
Yeah, I think when we saw in the last session it draw Adiran out of Nintu's champion, like it had this kind of black lightning arc run up the blade, and I think we see the same kind of thing, except it's obvious that this is not maybe not just what it does, but this is specifically to do with Adiran, right?
Yeah. Right.
Pericon, unfortunately for you, I think this
Oh,
massive.
oh, I have an idea.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Because I was going to say it's just going to devour you or whatever, and that's how you end up in the underworld. But if you have another idea,
Well, um, would it be okay if Aaron was the one who goes to the other worlds? Because what I like to say happens is that I kind of put my hand out and one of the tiny monsters, like runs up my arm as I as I walk up to Nintu and I say, I told you to wait for my signal, and my form shimmers into Ashag.
What?
love that.
Yes. Yes.
Amazing. So yeah, I guess Aaron is the one who winds up in the underworld, whether you drown or the gods murder you.
How
Um,
would you like to die?
I mean, I
Or
think
do you want to figure
kill
that out
killed
later?
by
I guess.
your own sword, is a great way to go, right?
Absolutely.
but you don't wind up within the sword, so I don't think it cuts you. But maybe the lightning that arcs off of it, hits this water, and you're kind of like electrocuted.
Can more than one soul?
Yeah, I had been thinking that I think there needs to be some kind of will behind the absorption of the soul, right?
Hmm.
Like because it's killed plenty of people in
Hmm.
Antaka's hands previously. So I think he just dies by it normally, right?
Oh, okay,
Go
makes
straight to
sense.
hell, do not pass go, do not do not earn 200 shells.
Do you
But
think we like know how the sword works?
Uh yeah, I mean, I don't know. Is this like
how
no one
open
has
would
them?
Adoran be with their secrets, right? Are they like
Right.
wanting Antaka to know everything
Mm.
because the danger is that great? Or are they like, I'm gonna hold little beats like breadcrumbs for you until you do what I want?
Yeah, I imagine that Antaka gets what they need when they need it,
Right.
right? For but
But maybe the
Kim, if you have a
Smith,
different idea, yeah,
well, I was gonna say like maybe the Smith Aaron though would be more open about
yeah,
it because they're the one who actually crafted the sword. Right? Did maybe they reach out to one of you in your dreams, and that's how it's connecting to you in the future and like showing you some or all of this. Or
yeah,
there's
maybe snippets, but also like, hey, if you bring me back from the underworld, I will tell you everything, right?
their
Everything killed
shade
the
could
gods this
actually,
time.
yeah, their shade could actually appear to one of you at your windowsill or something. I like that.
The
Uh,
blood in the water.
right. Any other things we want to throw into the scene, or I'm actually good where that ended.
Hmm.
Damn you, Eshok.
Nice. That's so good, Rob.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, so we finished the world scene and answered. I'll go ahead and set up something for next week with the Atlanteans. That's gonna be
Oh, just
fun.
to warn you again, I'm not around next weekend, so
Mm.
Hmm.
yeah, I'm at a con, but I'm
Uh,
sure
do
you'll have a lot of fun without me.
To be honest, like I was going to talk to you guys, and on probably will off camera. But there is something that might be going on next week for me too, so we may want to just skip until the following week, if that's okay.
Of course.
Yep. Okay, so unless the other thing that we could do if we wanted to define the underworld for a few minutes, we could, or we could just cut it here. It's totally fine too.
I'm good with either, but that felt like such a good ending
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, let's just call it there and plan on in 2 weeks then. Okay, I will go ahead and pause the recording.